Okay, if you feel like you need a little bit more detail on how to do the hurricane mini project, here you are. So your final product is going to have 3 parts: your tracking map, your CER, and your summary. And I'm going to walk you through the whole thing. So first off, the tracking map. You need to start out by going to the link and picking a hurricane. So once you get there, it's going to look like this. And you could click on any year and get the full list of hurricanes for that year and choose any of them that you want. So that's one route you could go. I'm going to kind of take the shortcut and go here to the retired names. Just like a sports player who's really memorable, when they retire their number. A hurricane that causes a lot of damage or makes a big impact, they'll retire the name after the year of that hurricane. So I'm just going to pick Gustav. In 2008, that was a good year. All right, so once I get there, it's going to have this nice little map I can use later to check my work. And this nice little map also will really show me kind of what map I should be using when I go to plot. Notice this color key that gives the category numbers of the storm and the miles per hour of the wind for each category number. That'll be useful later. If I keep going down, I've got some nice little pictures. Maybe I could print one of those out and put it on my little project. And then I've got the data for the storm. So it has my date, my time. GMT stands for Greenwich Mean Time, which is the time zone in England. Then you have the latitude and longitude, the wind speed, the pressure, and what type of storm it was. You're only going to plot 1 point for every day, and it's going to be the one at 00 GMT. So this one that's highlighted right now is the first point I'm going to plot for my map. And I'm going to skip this, this, and this. And the next one I do is this one on the next day at 00 GMT. There are 2 maps I have to choose from. The one that looks like this, and the one that looks like this. And you can pick just by looking at your data and seeing what will fit. So this one starts at 35 longitude, and this one goes all the way from 10 longitude. This one goes a little farther north, and this one cuts off at 40 latitude. So pick which one fits your data better. I chose to use this one, I think. Oh no, I chose to use this one for my plotting because it all would fit here, but it went pretty far north, so I wanted to have this. So now I just plot my points. I'm going to use a different color for each category. And I'm also going to mark each point with the date. And then the only thing that's a little tricky is here where it says major hurricane. That's not really a category. So I need to look back here at the wind speed. So for this one it was 140. Then I go back up here, 140 as a category 4, so that's how I know how to plot it. So that is how you're going to plot your storm track. And once you're done with it, you can kind of compare it to this map to see if it looks about the same. And that's a really good way to check your work at the end. So that's how you do your storm tracking map. You need this data for the next part, which is your CER. The evidence you're going to use in your CER is the wind and the pressure, because the question you're trying to ask is, how do air pressure and wind affect each other in a hurricane? So you're going to want to look at the data and pick a few data points to see overall if pressure goes up, does wind go up or go down? So is it directly related, inversely related, or not related at all? Okay, so pick several points Try and see what the pattern is, and then you're going to use this data in your evidence. For your reasoning, you may need to look at other sources like the textbook or your notes on air pressure and wind. So that way you can kind of support your ideas with a little bit more in terms of scientific knowledge. So that's the CER part. The final part is the summary, where you're going to give a little more information about your hurricane. To do that, I recommend you go to the databases you can get to through the middle school library. And I think the best one here is called Science in Context. When you click on it, it's going to come up looking like this. And I am just going to search for Hurricane Gustav. Oh, and it even suggests 2008. Now, all of these results show up, and I'm going to click on News just because I feel like that's going to have a lot of great articles. Oh, this is a good one. Gustav damage may hit up to $10 billion. Oh my goodness. Once I have a couple sources, I'll have some really good facts. And then I might choose to write a paragraph with those facts, or maybe I'll do a list or something graphic. So just put a bunch of facts together. Good things to talk about are how much damage the hurricane caused, what places it affected, that kind of thing. So the last thing you need to do, once you have your summary, your CER, and your map, is to put them together. I have 11 by 17 construction paper if you want to glue it all to one piece of paper. If you prefer electronic, you can scan your tracking map, and then you could make a presentation or something with that as one of your images, but you still need to do your tracking map by hand. If you want an example, it's a pretty basic example, but if you want an example of what I'm looking for, I threw together this quick little example on Hurricane Gustav. So I've got my tracking map, I've got my facts, and I have my CER, and I just put it all together. So it's not a great example, but it gives you a little bit of an idea for what I'm looking for. You're going to have all day on Friday in class to work on this as well, and you can ask me questions then. But if you're somebody who is away on Friday for the band trip, make sure that you send me a message through Canvas or by email if you have any other questions. All right, have fun learning about hurricanes, and I will see you tomorrow.